Hey, legal besties! Welcome to Ladies in Law. My name's Michaela, and we have one of my favorite guests ever here today. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Yes. Hello, I'm Amanda. I'm the brand manager at Justice HQ, and I also am a freelance creative, I don't know, extraordinaire, whatever you want to call it.
I was going to say that, so I'm glad
know.
you said that. First of all, I just love that word. I think it's so fun to say and spell, honestly.
I hated that.
Did you? No, is it because you said it about yourself?
Yeah.
No, but like you say it and mean it. You know what? No, actually, let's just get into that for a second.
Okay.
So you are so incredibly talented.
Thank you.
And like I will sing your praises literally to the ends of everything.
Thank you so much.
So Amanda actually took my engagement photos with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wasn't my husband at the time we took the engagement. My fiance at the time. Husband now. And he hates being in front of a camera. Like literally it is like
and that was something you warned me about before.
Yes. Yeah. Because he doesn't enjoy it. He looks at photos and doesn't love them. And so I remember giving you that heads up because you've taken my professional headshots. Because I was like, don't take it personally. It's just like, it's a him thing. And he left that being like, that's the best I've ever felt in front of a camera. And like our engagement photos will pop up on our slideshow. And he's like, I love those photos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the Amanda magic. Because you make people feel just like so authentically them in front of a camera. And I've like how uncomfortable it is to be in front of a camera the majority of the time. And you do that.
Thank you.
And you're incredible.
Thank you.
You like, even like engagement photos are so different from professional headshots. And then you also do weddings. Yeah. And like those are all such different vibes and you excel at all of them.
Thank you. Yeah. It's definitely like something I would say that I definitely feel like that is a talent of mine. It's like making people feel comfortable. And I think because I shouldn't say nobody. Some people do like taking photos, but like a majority of people don't. And especially when it comes to couples or maternity or anything like that, it's like often the guy, sometimes the girl too, like they just aren't comfortable. And like, especially with headshots, like that's something like in the legal industry, you know, some people have one headshot that they use for 20 years and, you know, you don't look like that anymore. So it's like, I think finding ways to like make people feel comfortable. And like, I think my like secrets to success for that are like make it feel like you're not taking photos. So like something that I always do is like I'm constantly talking to the people that I'm taking photos of. I think a lot of times like you get so like in like a system like, oh, I'm taking 5 photos of this person and I'm just changing backgrounds and whatnot. And it's just like click, click, click. But like for me, at least, that's how I find the genuine photos. And that's how I get people like off guard. And I think like a lot of the best headshots are like when you're talking and then you stop. Like, you know, so things like that, I think that's like, for me at least, that's when I like find the best photos of people or like take the best photos or content or anything is like those like moments when like you're kind of off guard, but like you still are taking you know, so it's like you're still smiling, you're still posing, but it's like right after you exhale your head almost, you know what I mean? Like that's when I'm taking your photo is like after you're like, like, you know, because it kind of just like that's when people like that's when you find the comfort. And I think like I'm a talker. I could talk forever to anyone and about anything. And so I think that's just something that I've like learned to do is just like it makes you comfortable if it's not such like a task you're doing. Like you're just like posing and like kind of trying to make it like feel comfortable. And like I know like especially posing, like it is uncomfortable. Like it's awkward. Like a lot of times people are asked, especially in a professional setting, like sometimes you have to ask people to like get really close to someone and it's you know, like you're like, oh, it's my coworker, but like it looks better, you know? And so just finding ways to like talk to people or like make them feel comfortable, make them feel comfortable like in the setting, you know? And like, I always like to like ask, like, especially if someone's wearing like glasses, like, do you always wear glasses? Do you want some without, like trying to find like authentic, like, because people don't like taking photos and I know that. And like, it's something like I don't even like taking photos myself, you know? So like, I get it. And like, I think I've just like found, I don't know if it's my personality. I don't know. Like, I think too, just like the talking, it really helps because it kind of like makes you not focus on the posing or the smiling or, oh, my eyes hurt, my mouth is dry, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just something I've found. And like, I think and making it fun too. Like it doesn't have to be so stiff. It doesn't have to, and that's like something that like I truly feel like at JHQ, like we really tried to change was just like the stigma around a headshot. Like, it doesn't have to be on a white backdrop. You don't have to be in a suit.
Right.
Like, why are we so stiff? You know, like,
Right.
and especially like in the like plaintiff attorney world, like, and we talked about it on the JTN podcast and stuff too, but like just showing up authentically yourself. So what is that? Like, if you don't ever wear a suit, don't post photos wearing a suit, you know, like post in a polo, a t-shirt, whatever you normally wear, like make yourself shine through the content you're doing. So like, especially when it comes to like social content, like don't dress up and pretend to be somebody you're not. Like, you want clients to come to you and be like, oh, I feel like I know you. Like, you dressed like this in your post and you talk like you did in your video. Like, you want it to be a reflection of who you really are. And I think that comes through with photos too. Like, you don't want it to be, you know, stiff and like, so posed, and like, you want it to be a little more natural and like bright and not like a plain backdrop, you know, fun.
I think that's so interesting. And like, that doesn't sound like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But also I feel like there's always this like stereotypical version of like what you expect a lawyer to be. And I feel like that picture in your head is almost the stuffy.
Yeah.
And so
or like if you look up a stock photo of a lawyer, it's like someone in a suit and tie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so almost just like challenging that.
Yeah.
And just taking a step. And I think that that is so important, but also like riddled in what you're saying is like how in tune you are with people.
Yeah.
Like, you are reading the environment. You are trying to make them feel comfortable and out of their head. And what has kind of like been your journey to getting to where you are right now in your career?
Yeah. So I grew up in Oregon. So I'm from Oregon, went to Catholic school my whole life, which I think I will say is probably a big reason about why I'm so comfortable around people and so many different, because like we had to volunteer, we had to do certain volunteer hours. So like I've just kind of always like, and I was also a theater kid, so you know, that's just who I am, you know. But I think just also like constantly being forced to like put myself out there as a kid, I think really helped like open me up to like being comfortable talking to anybody and like just making people feel like heard, I guess, you know, like I feel like somebody always has something they want, you know, like they're always like talking to other people for a reason, you know? So it's like, just like being that space for someone, especially if it's photos, like, what are you trying to accomplish? And I think, that started at a young age for me. But so I grew up in Oregon. I went to Catholic school from preschool to 12th grade, like my whole life. And then I went to University of Oregon, and starting in, I went in as a biology major. I really wanted to be like a forensic medical examiner, which is like so crazy. And yeah, I really wanted to do that. And I was like obsessed with, I still am, but like obsessed with like true crime, like all of that. Like I really wanted to dive into that world. But you know, chemistry in college really,
that would be enough for me.
Really, knocked down that dream of mine. And I think, like after, you know, kind of like my first year of college, I was like, okay, I don't know if science is really for me. And I kind of really did go on like a soul searching, like, what are we doing here? What else do I like? Like, I don't even know, like how do I switch my major? Like, I don't know. And it just kind of came back to like, I really liked writing and like, I liked creative things. And so I kind of was like, I guess I could go into communications. Like, I don't really know. So I took like an intro class, and I was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of fun. So I graduated with a degree in public relations, which is kind of like not even really where I am now. But I really liked the like social aspect of things when it came to that. But like when I was in college, there wasn't really like, that wasn't really a degree yet. Like it was kind of like still kind of, you know, figuring it out. But I liked writing, and I liked like making sure that people are like seen a certain way, you know, like the PR, like, you know, it's so like, this is what's happening. Here's the news you need to, you know, just so like exact. Yeah. And I'm like a really organized and like person like that. And so I was kind of like, I kind of like this like structure. But after like continuing to take PR classes, I was like, I don't really know. Like, and I had so many great like mentors and stuff in college, and they're all like fantastic creative people. And I was like, okay, well, like they found their niche. Like I'll find mine. And like the journalism school at University of Oregon is like incredible, and there's so many cool creative people there. And it's like just such a big community, and like everyone is willing to like create. And like I still talked to so many people that went to my J school, and like it's so cool to see where they're at now. Like people work for Capitol Records, people work for, you know, they're making Super Bowl ads. Like it's really
so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like some people have gone back to work at the school, and like so it's really cool because I think like it really created like such a open and honest place for people. And I think that's kind of where I like learned to try things. Like, yeah, you might be like uncomfortable with it, but like try it out. Like, you know, I don't know, like hold a camera, see what it feels like, you know. And we did a lot of the classes were like that. It was like really kind of like push you to try things, which was really cool. And then after I graduated college, I got an internship with the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento, the NBA team. So I moved to Sacramento. I didn't know anybody there.
That's a big move.
Yeah. And I just was like, yeah, sure, I'll move. And like, thankful for my parents to like help make it happen. You know, I was like just out of college, and so yeah, I moved. I didn't know anybody, and I interned there for 10 months. I was on their digital team. So I was mostly covering like concerts and events. So I was like on the floor right next to the artists making content. Like Snapchat was really big then. So I was like doing Snapchat content and like Instagram, and it was really cool. That was like the best 10 months. It was so fun. And all the people, they have like a really great internship program at the Kings. And so it was all people my age. Like we all bonded together. Like we all went out. Like it was so fun. And it was like really cool because a lot of people also came there for the internship. So not everybody was local. And it was kind of like a second college, really. But yeah, it was a great experience. And I really got to like learn the ins and outs of like a professional ambiance, but like with so many different parts. Like entertainment is like so interesting. Like the arena, the athletes, like I got to do a lot of like engagement sessions, or not sessions, engagement, like outing things with the players too. So like one of the things we did, it was like a community thing, and I got to go like grocery shopping with a player, and then we delivered groceries to people's houses. And like, yeah, like what is that? That's my job. Like it was just, it was even draw that up. Yeah, it was like, I just got to do a lot of cool, really cool random things. Like my first day of work there, like, do you remember like the flossing kid, like the guy that like that's who I handled like my first day. Like I like it was just so, I was like, what is this? Like I met like Vanilla, just so random. Gosh. Like, and it was just like the craziest 10 months, but I loved it, and I got to learn so much and like meet so many cool people that like taught me so much. And it was kind of one of those things where you kind of just like had to throw yourself in and like kind of figure it out. Cause I was like, I'm not qualified for this internship. And then when I got the interview, I was like, oh, okay. You know, cause like after college, I was like, what do I want to do? But that really like, I would say like that internship really like solidified what I loved. And it was like doing social media. And I got to really just like play around with graphic design when I worked there. And like, I really just got to like learn and like hone in on a lot of like skills. And, so I did that. And then I kind of stayed local in Sacramento. I worked for a tanning company for a couple years. I worked for like downtown Sacramento. We had like an ice rink and a concert series. And so I did, and that was like 12 accounts. Like we had like so many social accounts. So it was like, yeah, I've done like, and that was a nonprofit. So like, I've just done a lot of like different groups. And then after COVID, I kind of was like ready for something new and wanted to move to a bigger city and try something. And so I applied for JHQ, like through Nicole Prince's like husband on LinkedIn. Like it was like a really weird, like, I don't even know how we got here. And then, yeah, I've been here for almost 5 years. So I've had like a crazy journey, and now I'm kind of, you know, in the past couple of years, I've kind of dabbled into like engagement photos, like doing stuff like that. I do like wedding content. So I just like to try new things. It's fun, and like kind of just like whatever brings me joy and like sparks. I'm like really always need that like creative spark. Like I have to do something that feels like I'm like creating something. And I've always been a creative person, like whether it's, you know, drawing or painting or anything, like I've just always been that way. Like, so it's just something that I need. And so it's cool to get to do that for work. Yeah. Really. Yeah.
I think that's incredible because like so often the dream is to be able to just like do something you're passionate about and make a living off of it. Yeah. And like you do that.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. And it's, I think also just like living in LA, like it's also just weird to be like surrounded by people that are also doing the same thing. Like even just like on a random day, like you're just driving around and like someone's doing, you're like, that's so cool.
Yes.
Like, so it's really cool. And I think, yeah, I'm very lucky that I get to like do something that I love and that like sparks joy and creativity. So
you also like were very intentional about like learning what sparked that for you though too. And I think that like honestly can be a lifelong just like ongoing journey with yourself of being like, am I even happy? Like am I being fulfilled? And like you did that from like the get-go, like from college. Like that's amazing.
And don't get me wrong, like I've definitely had days where I'm like, is this what it should I
you
go work at Costco?
That's
like
crazy.
you know, like sometimes it's and especially like I think too, like something that's hard for like creative people is like the world really plays into stuff. So like, you know, if there's crazy stuff going on in the world, like it really shifts what you're making, what you're doing, how you're posting. So like, it's definitely one of those jobs that like has ups and downs for sure. And I would say working in like social media specifically, like, you know, in 2020 with like the Black Lives Matter stuff, like that was really, really hard on social media people like that work. And like, that was such a, I think, weird like back and forth because it was like one of those things where some people were comfortable posting about it and some weren't. And it kind of became like a back and forth. So like things like that really play into my job because it's like, you know, it has to be, you're not like, again, like you have to be intentional with what you're posting. So like on Martin Luther King Day, you're not posting about like, you know, a sale you're having, like, you know, you have like things like that you actually have to like think about, or like, you know, if you're doing a big launch on something, like, is there something going on this day? Is it a religious holiday? Like, you know, like you really have to think about like everything. And I think a lot of people don't. And that's why like a lot of brands, you know, make mistakes like that is because they're like either, you know, just trying to do something, but they're not thinking about those little details. And those are so important when it comes to social media. But yeah, I think like I've just always, and I don't know if it's like, I don't know where I get that from. I think like my dad was a firefighter and my mom worked various jobs, but like a big chunk, she worked at an eye doctor, and I also worked there in high school. And I think I just like was always trying to find, like, I just loved how people were so passionate about what they did and like they enjoyed what they were doing. And, you know, I think like now, like being in my 30s, I'm like, do I love what I do? I don't know. Like, you know, I think everyone goes through that at some point, and like, obviously we'll probably go through it again, you know? And, but I think just like coming back to like, what is your purpose? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what, you know, is it creating? Is it being a lawyer? Like what makes you feel like you're doing something either for yourself or for somebody else? Like just kind of finding out what's important to you. And like, for me, it is like being creative. Like if I'm not like, if I'm like, I could just never work a desk job and just like sit there and just like type on a computer, you know, like that's just, I would just be like, I gotta go, you know? So I think it's something I've kind of always like chased. And I think too, like once I got to college, I think a part of that was like, in high school, I was so like, I played volleyball year round, like club, did everything. And then I did like theater. So my life was like so regimented, I think, that I like, when I got to college, I was like, I have to find who am I, you know? And I think everyone does that in college, you know? But I think just like, I think it was really exciting to like try something that was like still kind of new, like social media, you know, like it was like, and I just kind of stuck with it. And like another thing too, like it's funny with like all these like trends coming back and like 2016 and stuff like that. Gosh, you know, like it's just funny how like and now we're like old enough where like things come back and you're like, oh, why is this popular? Like it hasn't been that long, you know? And so I think it's like, that's a cool part of social media is like, it's such a connecting tool. Like I think people really like, there's like trends and things like that, and things come back. And like, I think that's what's really cool about it is it's such like a connector of people, of brands, of different lifestyles. Like, it's really cool. And I think it's like so unique. And that's what I enjoy about it too. And it's like, it's cool to find that. And like, I mean, I would say like, you know, a couple years ago, I thought to myself, like, is this a forever job? Like, you know, with like apps changing and new platforms and stuff like that, like you always, you know, there's always kind of something like, all right, like when they were like Instagram's going away, I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know, like I'm not going to have a job. So like, I think that, but that's like with anything, you know, there's always uncertainty, but I think, I just like, I'm lucky that I found something that's like exciting. And I think that's like too, like this job has like started my photography. Like I knew how to use camera. I'd used a camera before, but like starting headshots at this job, like I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of fun. I kind of like this. And, and then like you said, like I just really found a niche and like I found my talent in it. And I think like it's just something really fun and I like doing it. And like, it's just really artistic too. And like, I think like the biggest compliment I can ever receive is like you were saying, like someone like said that they felt comfortable, like, or that I made them feel that way, or like just simply hanging their photo in their home. Like, like that is like so cool to me. Like Michaela, that's you. Like Allison sent me pictures like that she like has her family photos that I took like hanging in her home. And like, that's really cool. Like that is really cool to me. Cause like, it's art, and it's something that people cherish. And like, I think it's really cool. It's like the biggest compliment I can receive for sure.
Good. Well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
And you deserve to receive it. Cause I know that part is really hard too.
Yeah. I'm really bad at taking compliments.
I get it. Yeah. I think I want to like pick your brain too.
Okay.
On brand creation.
Okay.
Because I think that a lot of like what the legal atmosphere has been a lot more of like shifting to being online and having your own Instagram and either doing educational content or trying to get clients from it or trying to just like broaden your network on like, meeting other attorneys.
Yeah.
You do a really great job. And even just like hearing your background and your journey, like you have so much experience in so many different realms of like creating a brand profile for so many different types of attorneys, so many different types of firms. And so I kind of want to pick your brain on just like, if I was to sit down and think like, how can I create my brand? What are some questions that you should be asking yourself and things that you should really be looking into to make it be authentic to you?
Yeah. I think like first place to start is like, if you don't have a logo, like creating that, cause that's, oftentimes the first thing people see, like, but creating it intentionally, like there's so many, like, you could just throw up some letters in your name, but like, is that you? So like, thinking about that. And I think people get like caught up with logos, like, oh, it has to be so like exact and whatever. It doesn't, it's like, and often like, it should look nice on letterhead if that's what you do. But like, but like just finding something that like feels like it's a representation of you. So whether that's colors, whether that's how you take your photos, like finding some, like putting out who you want it to be a reflection of you. So when you're sitting down thinking like, what do I want to post? Is it educational content? Is it, videos? Like, are you comfortable doing that? Like things like that, like finding out what you're comfortable. So I would just like say, write down, like, these are the things I want to post about, whether it's settlements, whether it's motivational quotes, results, no video. Like if you're not down for video, don't do video, like you want it to feel authentic and you don't want it to feel like fake or forced because you can tell. And, I think just like thinking what is important to you, how do you want to portray yourself? Is there something maybe like look back at what clients have said about you? Like, what are they saying about you? Like, is everyone using a similar word? Like, then maybe write that down. Like, do like, what are words that either you would describe yourself as? Like, what are, like, I guess kind of like your core words or like your core beliefs? Like, what is it? Is it empathy? Is it creativity? Like, do you bring that sort of aspect to what you're doing or to your law firm? Is it a color that stands out to you? Like maybe you just have a color. Maybe it's purple. I really like purple. This color really resonates with me. Okay, look up what purple means. Like like look up like, and I think that's like a really cool thing about branding is like colors have words associated with them. People think certain things or think a certain way about colors, like red is a harsh color. It's an intense color. So like, is that what you want to portray? Do you want it to be lighter? Like, do you want it to be green? Green's really comforting, like things like that. Like look up what these colors mean, or even like imagery. Like if I'm showing like, the scales, like look up what it stands for. Does that resonate with you? Or is it kind of like, I agree with that, but like, I don't know, then it's like, maybe it's like, okay, let me try something else. And I think just like finding like like, cause like I said, you want it to be like the best representation of you. So when you're giving something to a client or you're putting something on social media, like, does that reflect you? Does it come back to you? Does it feel off? Like if someone meets you, like, are they like, oh, that brand doesn't really fit with that person, you know? Like, so just thinking about like things like that and just like jotting down ideas. Like we talked about too on the other podcast, like, is there somebody else's content that you like? I like the way they did this. I like the format they did this in, but like I could do it this way. So just like writing down post ideas. And like, honestly, when I start like a brand kit for someone, I'm like, yeah, first, do they have a logo? Do they have colors? What type of fonts do they have? Are they like a very bold person? Do they want to add like a little whimsy font in there? You know, like, is it just, you know, bolder? Like, is it all bold fonts? Like just kind of like thinking about what you want it to portray. And like, you can always change it. You can always rebrand. You can always change your colors. You can always change your font. On social media, it's like really not that important. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like a brand, like if you're doing like printing letterhead, doing all of that, like obviously you want to stay consistent, but like you can always change it. Like that's okay, you know? And it's like brands also evolve. Like big brands change their stuff. Like it maybe every 20 years, but like they still do it, you know? So like you can too. And you don't have to like stay set with something too. And if you're like sitting down and you truly have no idea where to start, like maybe it's just you try stuff. Like, I don't know, like if you don't really need a brand on social media as far as like physical colors, fonts. Like if you're on social media, like just show up as yourself, like post videos of you talking, like that is your brand. You are your brand, you know? So it's like, the colors and everything, like emphasize that and like kind of make it cohesive or make it look nice. But just show up as yourself and like authentic content that you would want those clients to see. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that super does. Because I think when you think about brand, you think the color, you think the font, you think the logo. But what you're touching on too is like you as a person.
Yeah. And especially like I know a lot of people like have like individual accounts like for their like as an attorney, you know, even if you're a part of a firm and like, like what sets you apart from your firm, but what, you know, like, and tie those in, like, here's some of the firm values, but here's also some things that I bring to the table as an attorney of this firm. And, you know, I think, like you said, you don't have to have like colors and fonts and all of that if you don't want to. Yes, it looks nice and, you know, it helps tie everything together from your website, from all of that. But you as an individual are a brand. So what does that mean? Like what is your personality? Like write down those words or like, I think, like looking at, or ask your best friend, your best friend to write down 5 things about you, or, you know, ask your boss, ask a mentor, ask a colleague. Like if you need help, like lean on others because like we were talking about, like it's hard to talk about yourself. It's hard to put yourself out there. It's hard to write down things that you like about yourself or that, you know, so ask somebody else, you know, I think that's a great way to kind of see. And then also it really hypes you up because then your friends are like, wow, they said such nice things about me.
But I'm a words of affirmation girl.
Yes.
So I'm like, wait, that sounds amazing.
Exactly.
Like, sorry, I was given homework by Amanda. I have to ask you this.
Homework assignment. Yeah. But like, I think something like that is a good way to do that. And I think it's so like, not something you would ask people, but like if you're really trying to like figure out what your brand is, like, you know, do that. And I think like it's and I think like to talk about myself, but like I think that's like part of my brand is like my personality, honestly, because like I can just kind of like show up in any room and like talk to anybody. So I think that's
superpower.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
And so it's like it's something that's just kind of become part of my like, especially when creating like content and stuff, like at a wedding, like in a room of 200 people, like some people, you know, like they're not going to feel comfortable. But for me, I'm like, excuse me. Like, I just like, you know, I'm there to do a job. And like, it's just, that's my job. And like, it's different. And like, same thing as an attorney, like when you walk into a courtroom, like, what do you want people to remember about you? Like, is it your clothes? Is it how you dress? Is it your personality? Is it the way you execute your you know, like, so think about like stuff like that. Like, what do you want to portray? And like we talked about before too, like just it needs to be meaningful. So like don't just be posting because so-and-so told you have to be on Instagram. Like post something that makes sense, that like reflects you. It is purposeful. Are you trying to get clients? Are you trying to just make your brand? Are you trying to, you know, get views? Are you trying to educate people? Like what are you trying to do and accomplish? Figure that out first and then go from there. Like I like you said, I've worked on a lot of different accounts, and like every account and every brand has different reasons, you know? And like, even at like one of my jobs where I've like done the most accounts, we had 12 social accounts, and it was like a variety, you know, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, you know, all the, but we had so many different events, and every different event we had accounts, and they all were so different. The tone of voice, like I'm not going to use the same tone of voice for an ice rink that I'm going to use for a summer concert series, you know? So like, what is your brand? Like, what is your tone of voice too? And I think that's really important when it comes to social media, because I think people often overlook captions and like the way that, but it is important. And I think it should reflect how you speak, you know? So when you're doing that education, feel free to use a slang word. Like if that's how you talk, you know what I mean? Like if you're saying like gonna, or yeah, or like if that's how you talk, write how you talk, because then it's like, it makes, obviously if it's like, you know, a little bit too much, then like, and it doesn't make sense, like, you know, but like, it's okay to do that. And it's okay to use emojis that you use in real life, or like things like that. Like make it you know, it's, make it human. Exactly. Social media should be human. And like, I think it's really cool to see big brands emphasize on that too. And I feel like it's become a really big thing, is like, especially with like content creators and influencers and stuff, it's really cool to see actual people versus like models or just product shots. Like, I think it's like, that's what everybody wants. And so I think you guys have a unique position as attorneys, like you are working with people. So like, how can you make it that way? And how can you make people come to your page that don't have a case, but that could use your help? So like you were saying, like educational content, like save this for when you need it, you know, like we hope you don't, but like if you need this, or like things like that, like what are common questions you get? I think stuff like that is really good on social media, because it's really like has a purpose behind it. And it's not just buy this, do this, you know?
No, I love that mindset too, because it's like, you want to be consistent. And I feel like we are better at being consistent when we're actually being ourselves, and we don't have to put up a front, or we don't have to try and morph into what we see other people being successful at. You know, you want to show up in a way that like resonates with the people that like you want it to resonate with. And so taking that extra step of just taking a step back, think about the why behind what you're doing, the voice that you want to have, and also knowing that like you are capable of changing. So like with the rebranding, like I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we feel stuck, or like we have to be doing something because we've always done it this way. We are going to be different versions of ourselves in different chapters of life. Our voice will change, our passions may change, and we owe it to ourselves to like evolve.
And I think too, like we kind of touched on it, I think in the other episode, but like people get caught up on the numbers and stuff like that. Like that's going to change. The algorithm is going to change tomorrow, you know? So like also that's just another piece of advice when you're sitting down and you're trying to figure out like what you want to post about and what's important. Like make sure that it's like, obviously there's trending and like that kind of stuff that you can hop on and like account for, but like make sure that the things you're posting are like evergreen. Like it makes sense. It's not going to be like irrelevant tomorrow. And if it is, that's okay, you know, like, but make sure that it's like purposeful, you know, it has like, if you're hopping on a current event, am I adding to this or am I just adding to noise? You know, like what am I, you know, like, and I think a lot of people like I've noticed too, and especially like in the attorney world, like I think people get like, oh, I have to hop on this trend. I have to do this. But like, if it's not relevant to you, you don't have to. Like, I know it feels like you do, like, and I know it sometimes feels like you have to post a certain amount of times or like do something, but it's different for everybody. And like, I think people forget that like everybody has a unique following, and those followers are looking for different things. Like to just think about your own Instagram account. You follow certain accounts because you're getting X, Y, and Z out of following them. So it's the same thing when people are coming to you, they're looking for certain things. So like what is resonating and like go with that, you know, like if your graphics do really well, great. If your stories do really well, great. You don't have to post as much in your feed. Like if people are just going to your stories, like figure out what works for you and what's comfortable for you too. Like we kind of talked about like video and stuff and like, I make videos, but I hate being on video. Like I'm like not good on the others.
My like photo deleted out. It's so many.
No, exactly. I'm like behind, like I'm good on being the other side of the camera, you know? And so it's like, I think just finding what's comfortable for you, because at the end of the day, like social media is not that serious.
Right.
You know, and like
it doesn't have to be.
It needs to be comfortable. Yeah. Like you don't want to show up unauthentic. Like that's what it needs to be, is like authentic to yourself, your brand, whatever. And like honestly too, if you have no idea, like if you have no idea where to start, you don't have anybody to help you, like you don't have the budget, you don't, you know, whatever.
Right.
Go on ChatGPT. Honestly, like I think, like I know AI is a heavy topic for a lot of people, you know, but like honestly, go on there, put your Instagram, whether it's your personal or put your firm website or something. Like if you're trying to figure it out, put it in there and like say, hey, can you explain who this person is to me? Read it. Like if it resonates, great. That's what you're putting across. If not, then you know what you need to work on. Like, oh, that's not how I want to come across, or, oh, you know, like do something like that. Like it's an unbiased opinion. It's just going to populate. But again, like, or ask a friend, ask a colleague, ask someone you respect, like, hey, like, do you feel like this is coming off this way? You know? And like, I think people are willing to give an opinion. And I think like, you know, they, and if they're not, then that's not who you want to ask anyway, you know? So I think just finding like, what's important to you and how you want to portray yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that I'm like, where's my notepad? I need to take notes. I'm like, okay, listen back and take the notes.
Yeah.
Riddled kind of in what you're talking about is being in front of the camera. And I think that it is not like outlandish to say that that is uncomfortable for a lot of people. Yeah. And I think sometimes we shy away from things that are uncomfortable. Totally. But God, there's so many beautiful things that can come from like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Yeah. So can you kind of touch upon like, how to be a little bit more comfortable with the uncomfortable in being in front of the camera?
Yeah. I think if you're like, for example, if you need some photos, I like book a shoot, find somebody, like look into, like, if you're looking for headshots, like find somebody that you like their work. Like if you see the work and you're like, yeah, that resonates with me, then like do that. And when it comes to taking photos, like I would just say, like, as a photographer, just like over communicate with the photographer. Like I think some people, if they're like a good photographer and they are like, should make you feel comfortable, like they will take those like insecurities and be like really aware of them. So, you know, like I always like, especially with like engagement photos and stuff like that, like, do you have a side that you prefer? You know, like trying to like think of questions like that. Like, so when you're going to take photos, say like a photographer doesn't ask you that, like feel free to speak up for yourself. I know it's like really uncomfortable, but you're also like paying for a service and you want to like what you're paying for, you know? And so I think definitely finding somebody that like, and comes back to branding too. Like a lot of photographers, if you're looking for something, like find a page that makes you feel comfortable. You're like, oh, I like this. This is warm and inviting. But I also think like we're our own biggest critics, and especially women. And I think when it comes to taking photos, and like this is something I've like really learned with engagement specifically and maternity too. But like wedding, not as much, because like you should genuinely feel really beautiful on your wedding day, you know? So it's like you're not really thinking about that. But like when it comes to like engagement or like, and headshots too, for sure. Like I often get asked, can you retouch me? Can you get rid of this wrinkle? Can you make me skinnier? Can you do all of this? And like, yes, I can. Like I have the tools to do that. But like, I also like, you know, finding a way to like communicate to someone like, no, like you look great. Like I promise. And like, even if you get photos back, say you hate all of them. You're like, I hate them. This is not good. Show them to somebody else. Like ask somebody else, like ask your friend, ask a family member, because I feel like sometimes like we're our own biggest critics and we like look at it and we're like, I hate all of these, but like someone else is going to look at that and be like, you look so beautiful. Like this is the best, you know what I mean? Yes. So like finding somebody else that you can like ask that for, like, I think that also kind of takes away from it a little bit, especially if you're nervous to take photos in the first place and then you get them back and you're uncomfortable with them. Like, I don't know, maybe try that. Also, another thing, set up your timer on your phone and like try to do it yourself first. Like do a little exercise before even going. So that way you feel less, because I know posing is really awkward. Like do research, go on Pinterest, find poses you like, kind of like get a little bit more comfortable. And like the photographer should also be doing that. They should help you pose. And like, I think that's also like something that I've really like, especially with like doing the headshots, is I've found what poses are like don't feel as stiff. How can you sit that looks comfortable? Is it sitting at the edge of a chair? Like just finding like things like that. And I think like if you find the right person to take them, like they should make you feel comfortable. It shouldn't feel super stiff and like icky, you know? Because you want to feel cute. You want to feel pretty, seen, handsome, whatever the things. And you, exactly. You want to feel like you. So like, don't get your makeup done if you don't wear makeup. You know what I mean? Like, so dress comfortably, show up to photos like how you want to be seen. And like, yeah, that's another thing too. Like a lot of like people who have the same headshot for 10 years, like we kind of talked about, like you don't really like look the same. And like to me, like, and I mean, not everyone probably feels the same way, but like if I'm looking for an attorney and I see a photo and then I meet you and you don't look the same, that's kind of like, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, but I'm just like, I really like when people are like real and show up as themselves. So like, that's an example. Like maybe think about that. Like if your photo, if you don't really look at like yourself anymore, maybe it's time to update it. And I think people are really uncomfortable with that and like coming to terms with aging and all of that. But like, I think people need to be more comfortable with it and like, you know, and just who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. Be you. I think like society would be so just like better off if we just had more realistic expectations of how we operate and show up in the world.
And it's way easier said than done. Obviously, we all have our moments. I am self-critical every day, but you know, like I think like it's just finding ways that you can feel comfortable in yourself. And like, what is that? Is it, are you more comfortable in video than photo? Totally fine. You know,
you have to try to know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like getting outside of your comfort zone. It's trying things out. And it's like, what's the worst that happens? Like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, that doesn't look great. Then work. Okay, back to the drawing board. It's just always being able to like do research, make informed decisions and like adapt.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I just love picking your brain so much. And it's so fun hanging out with you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this season, I'm asking our guests at the end a question that I just think is like really a good just like reflection question and very helpful for us to kind of just think about. So like if you could give little Amanda one piece of advice, what would that be?
It's actually funny you say that because like this year I'm like really trying to like hone in like little me energy, you know?
Really?
Like, yeah, because I just think like we're like getting to that age where I'm like, damn, like look at all we've accomplished. Can I don't even know if I can say that. But like, yeah, it's like cool. Like be proud of yourself. And I think it's like, we kind of have talked about it, but like, it's hard to like root yourself on. Like, you know, sometimes like you're kind of like, I don't know, I could be doing more, like, or I'm not doing enough or whatever. But I think like, take moments to like celebrate and reflect on the things that you've accomplished or you know have coming up or like things like that. Like don't be afraid to celebrate yourself and like you don't have to wait for a certain moment to do it, I think too. But if I had to tell like little me anything, it would just be like, just don't get so focused on what other people think or like what other people are saying to you. Like people might tell you something, but that doesn't mean it's true, you know? And I think like younger me, like definitely like took everything to heart and was like definitely a lot more sensitive. And like, I think I've like learned that people say things like, even if it hurts you, like that's their own issue. It's not because of you, you know? And so I think just like, and that's in anything, it's in work, relationships, friendships, anything, like just remembering that like, it's okay. Like everyone has an opinion. Everyone's going to say something. Like even if everything you do, like there's always going to be some, whether it's your family members, whether it's your significant other, your friend, like everyone's always going to have something to say. But like, what do you, like, how do you feel? Like, did that make you happy? Did that make you upset? Like how, you know, so just thinking back, like it's okay. Like, and just taking to heart, like how it makes you feel. Like that's all that's important. At the end of the day, like you have yourself to focus on. And I think that's something like, as I've gotten older, I've definitely learned. And like, I think I wish I could tell her that. Cause I think, you know, it's like, you get really caught up on that stuff when you're younger, especially going to Catholic school.
Yeah. But like, look at you now. You embody so much just like authenticity. And like, you are who you are. And I love how you operate in the world and how you make people around you feel. And I think that matters a lot.
I really appreciate that. Something else I've learned too, like, is I feel like when I was younger, I was like always friendly and I had so many friends and stuff. And like, now I just think to myself, I'm like, yeah, people used to like make fun of me for that. But like my network is like insane. Like, so you know what I mean? So I like think to myself, I'm like,
that perspective shift.
Yeah, but like all these friends that you know what I mean? And so it's like back then it was like, I just cared about what other people thought. But now I'm like, yeah, well, I have connections that you'll never be in the same room with, so it's like,
and that's
stuff
on
like that. Exactly.
Yeah. You're amazing.
Thank
I am like just so appreciative that you showed up today.
Thank you.
And every day that you show up, because you show up. So thank you all for listening. And can you tell people where they can find you if they want to pick your brain and ask you questions?
Yes. You can find me on the JHQ app. I'm on there, but my Instagram is just amanda.maxwell. So you can find me there. And then if you want to check out my photography, it's Maxwell Studios, MXWLL Studios.
Amazing. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
You did so good.